Yeah. I mean, and we almost missed one of the key pieces of this because our veterans out there,
yeah. Oh, shit.
They cannot pay for their own commissions.
No.
The VA Home Loan Guidelines, Chapter 8, page 8-10, says that home buyers using a VA home loan are not allowed to pay for real estate services such as admin fees and real estate commissions.
I'll do one better for you, homie. I'll go ahead and quote it.
Okay, quote
VA Guidelines, Chapter 8. Fees and commissions charged by a real estate agent or broker in connection with a VA loan may not be charged or paid by the veteran purchaser. While use of a buyer broker is not precluded, veteran purchasers may not, under any circumstances, verbatim, be charged a broker's fee or commission in connection with the services of such individuals. Such information on property available for purchase and financing options is widely available to the public from a variety of sources. VA does not believe that preventing the veteran from paying buyer broker fees will harm the veteran. Now, here's the thing. If you're a veteran like us, I served 20 years and retired. You served 20 years and retired. Combined together, we have 40 years of service. Here's what I will tell you, going back to my time on active duty. If I was going to the next duty station, okay, when I bought my house, okay, I was moving from Louisiana. I was at Navy Recruiting District, New Orleans. I was in the recruiting district at the time. Mm-hmm. I was moving to Virginia Beach, Virginia. All right. I had a real estate agent that basically held my motherfucking hand and guided me through the entire process. That's what actually, it was so good, it actually made me want to become an agent. But anyway, he guided me through the whole thing. I didn't have to worry about anything because what I was worrying about was my move. How am I going to get my family across country? All the logistics involved in that and getting a house set up and everything. He helped me guide me through that. Because if I didn't have him here, what I would do is just say, okay, I'll do base housing. I'll do a fucking rental. I'll be done with it. Maybe sometime down the road, I'll think about buying a house. Because now that you, as a veteran, even if you have $50,000, $100,000 sitting in your bank account, you cannot pay for a buyer agent. It's against the rules in VA if you're going to use your VA loan with no money down. So now you cannot, even if you have the money, hire your own agent.
Yeah, and I mean, this is critical. If you are in the Hampton Roads area of Virginia, the majority of home loans that are done in this area are
greater than 60%.
VA home loans.
Yeah.
So if you are selling your house and you say, I'm not going to pay a commission, well, then you're not going to sell your house most likely because you have a very small probability that you're going to come across a FHA or a conventional buyer who's going to buy that house.
And nobody's going to use fucking conventional loans because their interest rates are way too high.
Way too high. And
so it's only going to be FHA buyers.
Only people are going to use them are people who are in non-conforming situations, which are millionaires, and it's not going to be a situation or people who are looking to buy $1 million houses.
But if they're millionaires, they're not buying a $400,000 fucking house.
Exactly.
It's just what it is.
Yeah. And so for the sellers out there, if you happen to be maybe in, say, Jacksonville, where there's also a large military presence, or San Diego, California,
Corpus Christi, Texas, or
there you go, Chicago, Illinois, I would imagine around Great Lakes where the boot camp is for the Navy.
I'll have to ask my sister. She's a realtor there.
And then, Everett, Washington, Bremerton, Washington. There are a lot of areas that are affected by this. And, there are some states, some particular states that, act quite, it's kind of odd, but there are a few states out there that have a higher propensity for people to join the military.
Yeah.
My great state of Pennsylvania is one of them. Hoorah. In Texas,
family in Philly, so.
Texas is another one. There is a higher propensity of people from Texas who join the military.
Yeah.
So if you were in one of those states where you have people who are proud to serve the military and proud to wear the colors of this country, then you have to be concerned about this because these veterans cannot, according to the law, or the guidelines, I should say, of the VA home loan, pay for their own commission. Now, what makes this kind of crazy and almost an oxymoron is we have one government entity pushing to decouple commissions and say, no, the seller shouldn't pay for it. And then we have another, I wouldn't say entity, but maybe a department that regulates government entities, the VA, who says, hey, no, you can't use our loan and pay for your own commission. You have these two kind of like, no, you have to pay for your own commission. No, you can't pay for your own commission. What's happening here? It's creating a lot of chaos.
Yeah.
But again, the only people who are winning here are the lawyers.
Right. They get their out of the settlement. They get their piece of the pie.
A huge chunk of the settlement. Whereas
at least that's what I believe.
The sellers, after the lawyers take their chunk of the money, you may get a couple $100 back. But is it really worth all of the unraveling of a good system that is based on hard work and merit? Like, there's a lot of people who said, oh, I'm going to become a real estate agent. And then they get into the business and they realize, like, no, this is way harder than I thought. Like, I just seen people sell a lot of houses, holding keys. I'm going to go back to doing what I was doing before this right here because this ain't it.
Yeah.
Right. So in part, these laws are killing entrepreneurship. It's killing the people who are wanting to go out there and try to work as hard as they can, who believe in a good day's pay for a hard day's work.
I think this is killing more than entrepreneurship on our part. Is killing home values. So because think about
home ownership too.
You think about it. I own a house. I own property. You own property.
Yep.
And let's say our property, I don't know, let's say 500,000, just for the sake of good math here. Let's say both of us own a home worth 500,000. So worth $500,000 is based on what the buyers are willing to pay for it at that time. Okay. If you have less buyers in the market now wanting to pay that same amount for that house, they're not going to, those limited buyers, they're going to pay the buyer agent commission for themselves. Don't want to pay $500,000 for your freaking house because those are inflated costs, but they're in it for $450,000.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's buy and demand.
It's supply and demand. So now you're because at the end of the day, no matter what your home value you think it is, it's only on paper. It's what the buyer is willing to pay for it. The same thing if you walk into a retail store and you say 50% off, 60% off, clearance. That's inventory that retailer could not get rid of, so they have to discount it in order to get rid of it. So what do you think happens if you have a plethora of homes and a limited amount of buyers? You think you're just going to carry around that $500,000 net worth on that house indefinitely?
No.
No. It's going to be based on what the buyer is going to go on clearance. It's based on what that buyer is willing to pay for that house. And you know what? The limited buyers that can pay for their buyer agent commissions are going to tell their agent, you know what, $500,000 is way too much. And you know what that buyer agent says he's getting paid by? That buyer says, yeah, I think we can hit him at $450,000.
Yeah.
And ask them for closing costs. Ask them for a new HVAC. All this other shit.
Yeah. And then you're going to pay way more money in order to sell your house. Now, these lawsuits tell you that they're going to get you money back. You're no longer going to have to pay commissions. Well, you're right. You may not have to pay commissions, but you're going to feel the cost of a commission, and it's going to be many times over. And guess what? When this seller's market ends, and it will end. It will end. When them buyers come back around and it's a buyer's market, they're going to be coming for blood.